Sex is complicated. Biological sex is simple, right? Just XX or XY. Well, not quite. Biological sex is actually pretty complicated. Let's start by talking about XX and XY. These letters refer to sex chromosomes. Chromosomes are tiny packages of genetic material, and most people have 46 in each of their body cells. And most of the time, 2 of those are sex chromosomes. Specific genes on the sex chromosomes influence what we call biological sex characteristics. What are biological sex characteristics? These are a collection of physical traits that usually differ between people with different sex chromosomes. Primary sex characteristics are structures present at birth, including genitals and gonads, which are organs that can produce eggs or sperm. Secondary sex characteristics usually develop during puberty and include differences in body shape and size, body hair, and vocal range. These characteristics aren't directly related to sexual reproduction, but they do develop in response to different sex hormones in the body. How do we get from sex chromosomes to biological sex characteristics? As soon as an egg is fertilized by a sperm, the resulting cell, which is called a zygote, already has a specific set of sex chromosomes. The zygote is a single cell which will divide over and over to form an embryo. For the first 6 weeks of development, the embryo will look the same no matter which sex chromosomes are present. During the 7th week, different structures in the embryo will develop into different sex organs or disappear, all depending on which sex chromosomes the embryo has. There is a gene called SRY, which is usually, but not always, on the Y chromosome, that signals for a series of events that lead to the development of testicles. If there is no SRY gene present, then ovaries will develop. Other internal and external sex characteristics develop based on the levels of different sex hormones produced by the gonads. Between the sex chromosomes, gonads, sex organs, and sex structures, our story of biological sex is already complicated, and we are still just talking about an embryo. Everything that we've seen so far can come in more than just 2 types. Not everyone has XX or XY sex chromosomes. Not everyone has just ovaries or just testicles. Not everyone can produce or respond to sex hormones in the same way. And not everyone is born with external sex organs that we would expect based on their chromosomes. And different parts of this process can also interact with each other in really complicated ways. Once people grow up and start to develop secondary sex characteristics, there is even more variation and even more different possibilities, even between 2 people with the same sex chromosomes. Biological sex is actually a lot like other traits in people, most of which come in so many different variations. So the next time someone says, "It's just XX and XY," you can tell them that, actually, sex is complicated.